Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with CANiK TTI Combat, and this is the second installment of my videos about the CANiK TTI. So yesterday you guys saw that I did a video on the finish of my gun. So when I got this gun, I noticed that their Cerakote doesn't come all the way into this section of the slide serrations. It does it the same way on this side, but not to the same level. You can see that this is much more complete, and right here you can just see clearly there's sections that the Cerakote did not get to. It's not here, it's not there. There is a little bit of it on the slides, on the slide stop slide release over here. Since the video has dropped, I've actually gotten a comment from one of my viewers that said this is intentional. This is the way that they designed it to be. They thought it would look cooler to have it not look uniform across the gun. For me, that seems a little strange considering they didn't do that throughout all the slide serrations. They just did it primarily on this section of the slide serration and on the slide stop slide release. But apparently that's what they're saying. It gets me kind of nervous because that area is an area where moisture kind of gets stuck in and you could have rusting, so I'm a little nervous. And we're going to talk to CANiK about that and find out if that's really what it's supposed to be, and I'll bring that to you guys when I hear back from them. But as I went to the range today, I had shot 100 rounds of 115 grain CCI Blazer brass ammunition. This shoots at 1150 feet per second. That's going to be important information here in a minute. I shot 100 rounds and I had a minimum of 13 failures. So I had failures to get into battery. I had light primer strikes, and then I had the bullets were all being gouged as they were going into the gun. This is an example with a light primer strike. Here is an example without a light primer strike, so the striker didn't even hit that time, but you can see that it has a gouge here as well. So as we look at the feed ramp of the pistol, you can see, it's kind of hard to see here, I'll try to take a picture of it. You can see there's a copper wash on the feed ramp, which is what's happening is the bullet as it's going in is hitting the feed ramp and is not sliding up into the gun. And as I'm guessing it whacks into it, tips up, and then hits the top of the chamber, gouging it, and then goes in. And I think that's what's causing the failures to get into battery. As far as the light primer strikes, I'm not 100% positive of what's causing that. Some people have told me, or Grant from 327 Customs said, well, why don't you try the other spring? And so I went ahead and I checked the manual. Now the manual says this comes, and this particular spring, and you could tell it's this one because it's marked low on the end. It's also gold here. The other one's silver. And it says specifically, do not use this with range ammunition. And it said 115 grain and approximately, I think is the word they used, 1150 feet per second. Blazer brass is 1145. I would consider 1145 approximately 1150. So clearly this is not, as specifically said, do not use this spring for range ammunition. You want to use lighter ammunition for that particular spring. So I'm working on the warranty information now. I'm going through that whole process. So I was super excited about this gun. I spent $950 to get this gun. I was super excited about it, and now I'm going to have to send it back, clearly. Now what's going to be interesting is we're going to go through the process of how, on June 22nd, I bought this firearm, and we're going to go through the process, how much work they make me do, what it takes, and how long it takes them to get the gun back to you. So hopefully it won't be super long because they have my money and I don't have a functioning firearm. So I would kind of like you guys to put comments down below. Do you think that this is the appropriate Cerakote job that was designed for this gun? Do you think that under 90% reliability out of a gun is appropriate? And how long do you think it should take for them to get the gun back to you when it clearly is not functioning the way it's supposed to? I'm really excited about it. I will tell you that when the gun ran, it was super fun. The compensator worked really good. It felt great in the hand. It was a natural pointer. The trigger was awesome. I really want this gun to turn out good. And you know what? Sometimes you get a lemon. That just happens. So we'll find out, and we'll walk through the process of how the customer service with CANiK is and see how long it takes them before they get me a functioning firearm. So I do want to thank you guys for supporting the channel, all the likes, the comments, the shares. They're really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
Little middle baby bucket. Do you want to live in California?
No!
Why?
Because I'm not a communist.